Hi guys, welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to be talking about the difference between the three different forms of road bike. The question I get asked a lot. So this is a endurance or sportif road bike. This is a higher front end, shorter top tube style of road bike. This is the sort of bike that you would look at getting if you were doing a longer ride, sportif, endurance, that kind of ride. Usually nowadays all disc brake. So you have a higher head tube, shorter top tube, a slightly longer rake and a wider tyre clearance. This is the Cannondale Synapse SE, so this comes with a 13mm tyre on here, 3 axles front and rear. Also what you'd usually find is you usually have a compact front chainset. That is a 50-34, and you usually have a wider ratio cassette. On this bike here is 11-34. So you have a 1-to-1 ratio, so super easy gear to get up anything really and make riding as easy, stress-free and enjoyable as possible. Most of them come with sort of some form of mudguard mounting as well. Even disc brake models have some form of adaptation now to make sure that a mudguard will fit. So yeah, this is a sporty bike, so that's the first style of road bike we'll look at. Next one, what we're going to move on to in a second, will be the more traditional race road bike. This is more of a lightweight bike. For example, what we're going to be using here is the Cannondale SuperSix. So this is the new 2020 SuperSix. This has got a slightly longer top tube than the Synapse we just watched just now. It also has a slightly lower front end. Most of all now you're going to see a more integrated front end, more aerodynamic on them as well. A little bit more aero going to them. They're not quite as comfortable as a endurance bike, but they are a lot more comfortable than an aero bike. So what this means is this is a bike that you can kind of do anything on. This is one of the most popular styles of bikes that I sell in the shop. This new SuperSix kind of takes everything to the extreme, so it is much more aero than the old one, much more comfortable. What you'll find is, again, these are mostly disc brake, but you can get rim brake versions of these now, which are a little bit lighter. Tyre clearance are now up to 13mm on most of these sort of more road racy bikes. Everything is a lot more integrated, clean and sort of more cut in there. The ratios you'll usually see is a 52-36 on the front and an 11-30 on the rear. That's what you'll usually find. It's not quite as easy as gear as you'll get on a sportif bike. It doesn't make it as easy to climb up things on these bikes, but what it does do is give you a slightly higher top end gear for that sort of more racy market, and that's kind of what these things are sort of there for. They're for a long distance race bike, so they are comfortable but not stupidly comfortable like the Synapses can sometimes be, but also have the stiffness and the aero benefit from the technology sort of learned from early aero bikes to kind of make them the best of everything. So yeah, this is the Cannondale SuperSix we've been talking about here. So next we're going to be moving on to something a little bit more aerodynamic, and this is sort of sticking with the Cannondale theme here of this video, is moving on to the SystemSix. So here we are with the SystemSix. This is Cannondale's out and out aero bike. This is what the fastest aero bike on the current market made by them. You can see by the tubing, fully integrated cockpit on here, no sort of aero expense spared to keep it nice and clean. All aero bikes now, all modern ones, are all disc brake. That is a faster setup to clean the air on the front end of contact. When you're looking at that, it's so much cleaner than what you have with a standard caliper one. Or you usually have a deeper wheel, so this is a 64mm wheel, so overall the bikes do weigh a little bit more just because of the tube shapings, and the wheels are all gauged and aimed at that aero. And the penalty of having that aero is you don't get as much comfort as you get from the road bike, and especially not the sportif bike as well. The sportif bike just has massive more comfort. They're trying to make them better though, so this bike will take up to a 28mm tyre to give you a little bit more comfort there. Also 28 is a faster rolling tyre, which is the main reason why they did that. But everything just is so much cleaner and so much more integrated than, especially when we looked at the Synapse to start with, which is all the cables are showing, which means it's a little bit easier to work on the bike, but nowhere near as aerodynamic, and that is the compromise. Either you have comfort, ease of use, or you have out and out speed and aero. I've ridden all three of these bikes. For me personally, I would probably buy the SystemSix just because of how fast it is and how nice it rides. But yeah, well, I hope you enjoyed this video. It's a slightly bit different to what I would usually do, and talking through all these different bikes here, but I thought it was a question I get asked a lot, so I thought I'd answer it for you here. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe, comment and like, and I will catch you guys later on. Cheers.